What's up, y'all? It's John Master Lee.
And Lulu.
I have tactically already bought a house.
Yes.
Put the money down for a new house that's under construction. Will be done at the end of the year.
Yes.
But I still thought, maybe we should get another house.
Yes, we're still looking.
Well, sort of. I mean, after this experience, I think it's probably a moot point of looking. So here's the deal, right? The Vegas market right now is insane. It's not just Vegas. It's the entire US, which is why it's been creating like problems everywhere. Like lumber costs have gone through the roof because there just isn't enough. Like through the last recession, a lot of builders stopped building. So there isn't enough inventory. Suddenly, like everyone in the US has all this extra money. Suddenly everyone wants to move because they've been locked up for so long. Now everyone wants to buy a house all at once. So it's really, really hard to get a house today because you're competing against like 10 other people who are all making offers like on the first day. And then they're overbidding by like $50,000, $60,000, $70,000. It's like insane. But I thought to myself, you know what? I think there's one more house I want to get. And it was because of this one house that I saw. And I finally got a chance to go look at it.
And do you like it? I saw the video.
Well, all right, so here's the thing, right? When this house went on the market, right, it was listed as almost 4,000 square feet. It's huge. It's like almost twice the house size that you typically get in Vegas. An extra 1,000 square feet compared to like the place we just bought in Inspirada. And it was listed for about $525,000. It came with a pool, a tennis court, a full built workshop, mango trees in the back and everything. It was like, oh my God. And it's like in the middle of Las Vegas near Chinatown. I'm like,
so rare, huh?
Very rare to find something like this that it feels very rural, away from all the city noise, but like instant access to that. So I was like, all right, I when they finally gonna open up, we're gonna go and check it out. And I was really scared, like real scared that we weren't even gonna be able to like go take a look at it because they had already posted it up. They didn't post any other pictures up, just one picture. All right, this picture here that you see.
I know, I saw it.
And that was it.
Like, really?
And
Do
I'm
you really
like,
want to see it?
Yes, I want to see it that bad because you would normally you would never get like this many amenities, almost like a little mini resort. But for 14 days, he wasn't showing because apparently the owner was trying to fix a couple things up. But I'm like, don't even fix it up. I just want to go see because my fear was some people would even make offers without even seeing it. And it has happened. Like one of the places I wanted to go take a look at, they were like, John, they already made an offer. So if you want to go get it, you can't see it. You got to put money down.
What?
Yeah, that's how crazy it is here in Las Vegas.
Oh my God.
So even though the entire US is going through this housing crunch, it's worse in Vegas. And because of that, prices are going through the roof. I think in the last year, it's been up like 15%. So in other words, if you bought a house for like $500,000, it would be worth like $650,000 today. An extra $150,000. Actually, no, no. My math really sucks.
And I just
$75,000. Yeah, you just. I know.
No, don't ask me the numbers.
I was really afraid I'd never get this chance, but then boom, he did post the pictures up, and pictures wise, like half of them made me go, like, oh my God, this looks really awesome, and the other half made me go, this looks like borderline, like a center for the abused. Like it just looked run down, looked like there was just, like an insane asylum type of look. It just did not look like it was put together well. But then I saw this picture of like, look at this. They have a walk-in closet that literally looks about the size of the room. I'm like, all right, this does look nice. We got to go check it out. So boom, I did. I went to check it out. Middle of the day, in the middle of a work day, I'm like, everyone, I got to go. And how would you say? It's like mixed emotion. Like half the things you see, you go like, whoa, this is really nice, a really nice touch. And then the other half you go you're like, what the hell? So
doesn't connect.
It's just like, just some things. Just all right. So here's what's happened, right? This house here, it's a 3-bedroom, 3-bath house. So I was like, how could it be almost 4,000 square feet? I only have three bedrooms, right? So I gotta see that. And I'm looking at the size of this lot, which is kind of big. I'm like, all right, can you really have a full-size tennis court fit in something like that? So I get there, and sure enough, like some parts of it really, really nice, right? The backyard, very beautiful. The kitchen looks really nice.
Yes.
But then some of it was clearly old. It's an old house. And the owner of the place, honestly, really cool dude. I thought he was one of the coolest guys I've met. I had a fun conversation with him. Had lived there for a while. And I can see why he wanted to fix it up, because it was just kind of like, you settle into your home. I think he thought he was going to live there forever, but his wife just passed away. Aww. Yeah. So he says like, waited 6 months. I think I'm over the anguish, and I want to finally get rid of the house. And there was all these fun little touches. So because you could tell he's kind of likes to build things, and it looks like he built some of these things himself. Right. It reminds me of my Uncle Pen. Remember him?
Yes.
He had a big house in Virginia, and he building stuff. Right. But he's kind of one of those builders where he didn't quite get the permit for it. He's not exactly a professional.
Frustrated.
It's almost like put together, but in a weird way.
Oh God.
So it had that feel to it.
Don't you like that? Because you want character. And you said it
yes.
Every corner is different.
It was every corner of the house felt like it was a different part of the world. Some of it was cool. He had a little tiki bar in the back, right? So that was cool, right? Mm-hmm. And then he had a fire pit where it was for brick oven pizza. Mm. You don't see that often. And then he had a custom build workshop that was fully built. And it was huge because he would build planes in it. So Whoa. It was almost 600 square feet, big enough to build a freaking plane in it. What? Yeah, and he would fly them. This guy was, yeah. Now, this is what's scary. He's not a pilot or engineer by trade.
I think you can tell.
He was a hobbyist, and he gets into the planes he's built and flies.
Oh my God, that's scary.
You won't even know it's even more scary.
What?
He says all right, he's going to retire. He's going to move to France because he's French. And then he's going to take one of his planes to fly across the Atlantic.
Oh my God. Well, you know what? That's what you call life is short.
No, that's called making your life shorter. That's what that's called. Shoot, I wouldn't even want to get on my bike that I built myself and have to assemble because I can't get the brake padding right.
Wow, that's brave. Bravery.
So yeah, the house had a lot of those hobbyist touches. And that's when I realized what was going on, because I was looking around the house. I'm like, there's just no way this could be 4,000 square foot. And so what he did was, I think he included the square footage of the garage, which you're not supposed to. And he did have another section that was built, and he added on, but he didn't build it with a permit. So it doesn't actually count in terms of the square footage. You have to get a permit for it to count. But that whole closet area he built it himself.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So it's built in a kind of maybe not the code type of thing, which is why it looks so big compared to everything else. It's literally the size of another room. He could convert to
maybe
a fourth
he did
bedroom.
that for the wife.
I think he did for the wife. That's how much he loved her. Yeah. He loved her because he built an extra air conditioning unit into the closet. So she could just spend all day there looking over her whole wardrobe.
Yeah.
Oh, now I feel
fancy purse needs to be in a temperature.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can see that. So the other square footage that he counted, which I guess you could technically count it because he got a permit, it was the workshop, which was cool because I thought this could be like a YouTube studio. It's big enough for you to go film in it. It'd be our own little studio, because our studio here, if you see this,
our living room,
it's a freaking mess. And, to finally have a place where you could just make a mess elsewhere in your house. So the other thing that made me go should I buy it or not? It made me lean more towards the tennis court. It's not a real tennis court.
What does that mean? Not a real tennis court?
Well, it's kind of like a half-size tennis court. It wasn't big enough to build a whole one, so you kind of built a miniature tennis court.
Well, they're
it's like a non-regulation.
So what would you expect? You want them to run that whole court? I think that's enough for them to be, in their own little fantasy world.
You're right, but it's not because it wasn't a full tennis court. You really can't run around. You're just kind of hitting the ball back and forth.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's that small. It's more like a size of maybe like a length and a half basketball court, but I guess they like tennis more than basketball. But the pool was really, really nice. It had like all these trees around it.
Yeah.
It was very beautiful.
Right.
And here's the thing, right? Like you
Is
notice,
it big enough? Is it big enough in real?
it was a full size pool.
Can-
Yeah.
You always wanted to be able to do your lap.
Yeah,
So
I want to
you
be able to
always
swim in the pool and lap back. Yeah, you could do laps in the pool for sure.
Really?
Yeah. Like actually, the backyard is even bigger. You see, like in the back here, the fence. He built it smaller, but you technically have the backyard that goes all the way to this fence.
What?
Yeah, it's almost like
That's yours?
double the
That's
size.
his still?
Yeah. You could knock down the back wall and extend it all the way out. So
Holy cow, that's
he
huge.
could have. So I thought about that, right? Like this is almost like a fixer-upper project. So I thought, all right, do I buy it for like 500 down and fix it up and then turn it into a $1 million mansion?
There's an electric thing. You see that pool?
Yeah. So therein lies kind of the problem is, even though that is your land, you basically have electric poles running through your backyard.
No way.
So like
No.
that kind of sucks, right? Would you want that? I don't know. So yeah, I mean, ultimately I hemmed and hawed about it, and I thought like there's one of two scenarios: either we don't buy the new house and we opt to buy this one instead and spend some good money to fix it up, or we buy this house on top of it. All right, and treat it almost like a fixer-upper, maybe rent one of them out type of thing.
Right.
And I just decided like there's just too many things about this place that just made me go like, it's
You're just not feeling it.
it doesn't feel like 4,000 square feet. It feels
And the
small.
price. You were saying the price was just too.
I know people were going to overbid past
Right.
525. In fact, right now.
Right now, like $575.
Oh, baby, it's not even 575. They sold it. It's already sold. That's what this word pending means. So in other words, within 3 days of him putting it on the market, someone made an offer at an asking price of $575 minimum. This was his price that he moved it up to. All right. So he literally jacked it up by $50,000 in 3 days.
Holy cow.
And I'm willing to bet someone was willing to pay over that. And the way I was looking at it, let's say like 575, if it was about 3,900 square feet, it would have been at $148 per square foot, which is still about maybe $70 under what we're paying for our new place. So in other words, the price of the square footage has gone up by like $50, $60, $75 in the last year in Las Vegas. So this still would have been a good deal had the square footage been real. And so, my whole point is that this is an investment. I need to buy it undervalued
Right.
to be able to spend money to fix it
Correct.
up. And to my mind, like the value wasn't there.
Right.
But I know someone was going to jump on it. In fact,
For sure.
Joey, our real estate agent, is like, John, you pass on this, I guarantee you someone's going to offer it.
Right.
Like even if he didn't build stuff to permit, and which is a hassle, you have to go get it done, or you have to tear it down. Even those other things, some of it was run down, some of it was nice, and the tennis court's half size, and all these
for
weird
sure.
things.
People are still gonna.
Someone's going to buy it because the market's that freaking hot. That was a bummer because I loved the idea of it. It was just, I couldn't pull the trigger because the price was starting to get to a point where it wasn't a good investment.
Not worth